you're watching this, I pity you. Yeah, I'm ready.
Hi there, I'm Adam, but you may know me as Homicide. Here's my assistant.
Hi, I'm also Adam, better known as Whitey. We're gonna have a good time.
On today's show, we're going to be testing the penetration power of different bullet types.
You said penetration.
First experiment, we'll be using the Winchester 1000 feet per second 17 caliber air rifle.
Yo, home slice, can I have a gun?
Sure, why don't you have a gun that actually works?
You mean unlike Mr. Kane's moped?
Yeah.
Ah!
The Winchester takes two bullet types. The Magnum, which you can see has a spear-headed point, and the Hunter, which is more of a round-headed point. But how do we tell which of these bullets has more penetration power? Well, to find out, we have two glass bottles downrange, and we are going to see which one breaks worst. Okay, for real this time. Gotta shoot the bottles. Fire in the hole. Clear?
The video made it hard to tell, but from the remains of the bottles you can see that there is little difference in the bottle's damage. Each bottle was shot by a different pellet from the same distance and the same elevation. As a result, glass bottles are not the best method to study pellet penetration. It actually proved to be difficult to find a material that could effectively stop one of these pellets. 5 inches of cardboard did nothing, as well as 4 inches of styrofoam. Finally, a material called composition board did the trick. Composition board is made from cellulose fibers or particles derived from wood or other sources, usually used when making insulation. As you can see, I set my experiment by placing the target cube a set distance from the gun, and the gun was at a constant height and angle. I fired 20 pellets of the Magnum into one cube, and 20 pellets of the Hunter into a new clean cube. That way, each cube was independent of the other. Also, the pellet shots were spaced out, so they did not affect each other. As you've just seen, I've already performed the experiment. To test for significance, we now go to our chief analysts, Dylan and Tyler.
To kill time while we wait for Tyler and Dylan to finish analyzing in the lab, I'm going to be playing Apples to Apples, my good friend, Adam, Ryan, and... I don't know who she is. We picked her off the street. I really don't know. Anyways, your word is dangerous.
That means it's not safe.
Yes, it is.
I know the perfect card for this.
We need your cards. Okay, let's see what we got here. We got moped.
That was mine!
I wonder who would put that in. You know, it is actually pretty funny, because why would a 30-year-old still be riding a moped? Anyways. Nuclear bombs. That's pretty obvious. Samuel L. Jackson. It's pretty funny. Bread.
No pain, no grain. Freaking hate apples to apples. You know, I'm proud of you, Adam. You didn't kill anybody this time.
Anyways, Tyler and Dylan just turned in their results from the lab. Let's go see what they found out. Our study was trying to test the following hypothesis. The null hypothesis was that the depth of penetration of the Magnum pellet equaled the depth of penetration of the Hunter pellet. The alternative was that the depth of the penetration of the Magnum pellet was greater than the depth of the penetration of the Hunter pellet. Remember, the Magnum has a sharper point, so we're guessing that it's probably going to go through more composition board than the Hunter pellet, but we have to test that to find out. And now for conditions. Each pellet was randomly pulled out from a tin of 500 pellets, so we're assuming that each pellet is representative of the entire population. Each pellet type has a sample size of 20. This is not large enough to assume normality, but the data shows a nearly normal trend, as you'll see in the next slide. For independence, we find that the probability of one pellet does not affect the probability of another pellet. This goes for pellets of the same kind and pellets of different types. However, only one target was used to collect each sample of 20 pellets. As a result, the target could have weakened after each shot. The shots were spaced out from each other in order to avoid this, but we still have to use caution. For Magnum pellets, we found that most of them ended up in layer 5 of the composition board, averaging around 4.9. Meanwhile, the Hunters, as expected, did not penetrate as many layers. Most stopped at layer 4, averaging at 3.95. The resulting computation led to a two-sample t-test for means. After doing the math, Tyler and Dylan found a t-value of 7.128. This makes a p-value of 9 times 10 to the negative 9th. The degrees of freedom was 37.4. This leads us to our conclusion. With such a low p-value, we reject the null hypothesis at the 1% significance level, as evidence suggests that the true mean depth of penetration of the Magnum pellet is in fact greater than the true mean depth of penetration of the Hunter pellet.
So there you have it. Thank you for joining us on today's episode of Statsbusters. Come back next week, we'll do even more stats-related experiments.
Whole wheat!
Who would do such a thing?
You know what? It's time to put these people to bread.
Adam, go eat bread and die!
Well, why don't you eat lead and die?
I hope this bread will fill you up. Quit loafing around.
Yeah, well I'm gonna fill you full of lead.
You're a gluten-free faker!
Yeah, well these bullets are fake. Not.
Bag it. Okay, hold on. It was the wrongest picture. My cousin's cousin showed it to me.
Anyway, is it on?
What?
Is it on?
That?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I can't tell.
I think it is.
Okay. Well, anyways, to kill time while we wait for Riot.
I didn't do anything this time!
What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. What is love?
Ha 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 ha!